Shelly Studio. It's that time again, my monthly art prompt challenge for October. And yeah, I have this image of the prompts and everything on my YouTube post, so you can find it there. But I will tell you what we have here. So the colors that the random color selector did was razzmatazz, burnt orange, and plum. And as I always say, use what you got. Don't go buy to match, just get close. And that's what I do. I get close. The words for inspiration were fate, ear, and spider. That kind of goes with Halloween a little bit. And yeah, I'm going to take advantage of that orange. And give it kind of an October Halloween sort of vibe, I think. The art prompts, I'll just say them as we do them. And the first one I used was add book text. So I used pages from an encyclopedia. I just took out the words sections and glued those all on. The next prompt I'm using is add texture paste through a stencil. And this texture paste, if I put it away, I probably put it away, is metallic. Like, it's a metallic texture paste. And I got it, of course, on clearance a long time ago. And I'll look for it. If I can find the exact products that I use, I will list them in the description box below. They will be Amazon affiliate links if they're on Amazon. Because, yeah, it makes me a few pennies. And, yeah, I used a catalyst tool to spread that. And I think that worked pretty good. Even though I didn't tape it down, I think it worked pretty good. The next prompt I'm using is use water-soluble media. So this is a gel crayon. I think this one is King Art. I'm not 100% on that, but it was just in that little pouch right next to my desk, so I decided to use that. Spraying it with water, and then we'll spread it around a bit. I was hoping to find some pink in there, but I do have another set of gel crayons, so I will go find my razzmatazz and my plum in there, hopefully. Of course, I'm doing a voiceover, so I know I found it. It's not hopefully. Well, I was hoping at the time that I had some sort of pinkish color. And yeah, just taking the pink and going around the edges and around the tree, and then taking the more purpley color and doing inside. And hopefully it will look like razzmatazz and plum. That's the hope. So I'm doing the light pink area first because I know once I get that purpley color, it's going to really affect everything I touch. And it's covering up my tree. So I've got to work on that. I've got a couple of baby wipes. 2 came out when I pulled them out of the package, so I figured I'd use them both. I want to get it off the metallic part of the tree. Now, if I'd have thought about this in the right order, but you know, I just do things off the cuff as they come. I would have put that purple and pink down first and then put the tree over the top, because then I wouldn't have to try and uncover the metallic part of the tree. It's not very noticeable here, but it is more noticeable in person because it reflects. The way I have my light situated, you don't see the reflection, but there will be pictures at the end. You'll be able to tell better, I think, maybe. So just blending that out. And then the next thing I do, well, my next prompt is add black gesso with a baby wipe. I don't have black gesso. I do have black paint, but I got this paint on clearance at Hobby Lobby, and it was iridescent graphite. So I wanted to try it out, so I'm doing that instead of black. So it's not quite as dark as black would be, but I'm just going to use it to vignette the page. So it'll be fine. And it doesn't have to be as dramatic as black, right? All prompts are a suggestion. This is just to help you spark some creativity, get your brain going, get your brain going. Give you some ideas, give you a starting jumping off place. That's what I look at it as, a jumping off place. And I did look up a quote beforehand, so I had a little bit of an idea in the back of my mind, but yeah, it's all off the cuff, as you say. Just coming up with it as you go along. And you can still read some of the encyclopedia in the end, but I don't know that you would make any sense of it. So, as long as you don't got any bad stuff in there, you're fine. Using any kind of book text. Trying to make the edges just a little bit darker. And then blending it inwards. So how are you today? I hope you're doing well. It's a good day today. The temperature's getting cooler, which is nice. I'm still not ready for winter. I'm just barely getting over the fact that summer's over. Okay, the next prompt is doodle a house. So we're doodling a house. And of course it's got to be a scary, wonky sort of house. And yeah, I'm just freehanding it. It looks like it would not stand on its own. And I do have this like super speed because it takes a long time to draw a house. I'm using a Posca pen fine point, and I think it might be running out of ink, or the fact that I'm painting or drawing on paint, I think, is wearing out the nib of this this one. And I use a medium-sized one that's a bullet tip, and yeah, I think that one goes dry while I'm using it. But I did Google like house drawings, rickety. I can't remember my exact words that I Googled, but I got a house close, similar to this one, that is what inspired this design. So, do you celebrate Halloween? I don't usually do Halloween stuff, especially in a journal that's going to have like a lot of other stuff, just because I'm not too into having a journal full of all kinds of stuff and then have like a Halloween thing. Well, it's going to happen because it's there. And it doesn't say Halloween, but it feels like Halloween, you know, with the orange and everything. And with the words for inspiration, fate, ear, and spider. I basically go with spider. I googled fate. I googled fate, ear, and spider, and no quotes came up. It all was quotes on fate. So then I did fate and spider. Came up with something. So I'm just hitting some of the areas just to try and make that house show up a little bit better. I felt like it wasn't showing up on my camera with just the fine point Posca pen. If you celebrate Halloween, do you do something fun? My mom used to have a party and chili at our house every year. And we've done it for a while. It's kind of, attendance has kind of tapered off. Well, it's been tapering off since before COVID, and then after COVID it just kind of died. So we aren't even going to be home this year for Halloween. I'm still going to decorate my mantle. I've got lots of Halloween stuff. I like to change up the mantle every season, so I'll put something on there. So there's the house. Another one of the prompts was doodle or text with white pen or marker. And so that made me think of white. So I tried putting a little white down just to highlight, to bring the house a little forward out of the background. But this is just chalk. So I didn't feel like, and it wasn't laying down very well. So I didn't feel like that was working. To make the house stand out. So I think I come up with something else. Trying to decide what to do next. Okay, the next prompt I do is pull a stick or a brush through paint. So to do that, you have to have paint on the paper, right? So I put these little daubs, and this is heavy body white, titanium white. Can you tell what the pattern is? Yeah, we're gonna try and do a spider web by dragging I have like a paintbrush with a sharp scrapey point on the end, so I thought I would try that. It's lacking a little. But I keep trying. So what I end up doing, because it also said you could pull a brush through it and get out a smaller brush and just draw through. So there's plenty of paint in those little daubs. It still looks kind of globby and messy, but at least it's starting to look more like a spider web, right? And I did the prompt, so it counts. Sorry about the bouncing. That's from me turning my camera on and off. So I grabbed some fluorescent red. I thought maybe if I put a little, I didn't have fluorescent orange. I thought if I put a little fluorescent on the house, it would stand out a little bit more. And I don't put it everywhere, but... And I have it way watered down. I don't want to cover up what I've got. And red was not on the list of colors. But I figured red and orange is still orange, right? Just a redder orange. Okay, now I feel like the house stands out. Just maybe a little bit more. Doesn't matter. I'm covering it up. I covered it up with the spider web a little bit. All right. So the next one was collage ephemera or magazine image. I cheated on this one. because I don't have a magazine image that would include a spider. I had one cut out somewhere, but I don't know where I put him. So I am cheating. I found an image of a spider and a fly, and I cut those out, and they're counting as, and it does say ephemera. And yeah, I stuck that right where I was doing the spider, and I was worried that I had destroyed this fly, but it survived. I'll just have to let it dry really well before I close the book. But people count everything as ephemera these days, so it's ephemera. I am underlining or outlining a little bit of the fly so you can see his legs there. And I guess we can pretend he's landing on the tree. Or maybe he's just way close to us. But his wings aren't spread like he's flying, so I don't know. And putting a little bit of line around the spider's legs too, just to help him stand out a little bit. From my angle when I'm creating this, the light, I get the reflection in my face. So I have a hard time seeing the spider, so I felt like it needed more, and maybe it did. When I change the angle of viewing for myself, it is easier to see. So the next one, so we're almost done with the prompts. It's write something with ink or a paint pen. And I started out with a Sharpie, and I think it dried up a little bit, so I went and got my Sharpie creative markers, which are paint pens, sort of. They say they have paint. And we're adding the quote. And the quote is, normal is an illusion. What is normal for the spider is chaos for the fly. I thought that worked with everything else. And when I take the marker off to the side, I'm writing on regular paper, trying to get the ink down. So that it will write on my paint. Well, and that's that. The what did I call that? Graphite? The iridescent graphite has a little bit of a rough texture, and the other is really paper with the gel crayons on it, so they kind of resist a little bit, I guess, for pen to write. But the Sharpie Creative marker works perfectly. Like, it had no issue whatsoever. I really like those things. I just need one in a white fine point. Thank you very much, Sharpie. Could you get on that? White is my nemesis, as usual. So the next prompt was doodle or text with white pen or marker. And so I'm using a white sort of marker thing. And I'm going to go around all the letters so they stand out better, in my opinion. And I won't make you watch that whole part. I think that's the last thing on here. So we are done. Let me know if you liked it. Hit that thumbs up. If you like what you see, subscribe. I've been doing this every month for the whole year. I have a playlist. I will link it in the description box below. And again, the ingredients will be down there as well. And you can find a printout of the monthly art prompt challenge on my posts on YouTube. So it'll be there. And yeah, thank you for watching. Thank you 22 Club for sticking with me. I appreciate you. And I hope to see you again soon. There'll be a couple of pictures here at the end, and I hope you have an awesome day.